Imagine 9 elite hikers, experts in the harshest winters of the Soviet Union, fleeing their tent in the middle of the night. They weren't dressed for the cold. They didn't even grab their boots. They ran into a 30-degree blizzard, only to be found months later with injuries that defied logic. Broken ribs without a single bruise, missing eyes, traces of radiation. For 60 years, the world has asked one question: what happened on the Mountain of the Dead? Today, we uncover the chilling truth of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. Chapter 1. The 9 Souls of Kholat Syakhl. Focus, deep background, and the journey. In January 1959, 10 young and determined students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute planned a journey that would become the greatest adventure of their lives. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old highly skilled and intelligent engineer, an experienced mountaineer. Alongside him were 7 men and 2 women. They were not just casual hikers. All were Grade 2 certified climbers, capable of tackling some of the world's most treacherous snowy terrains. Their goal was to reach Mount Odertan. On the way, they had to cross a mountain called Kholat Syakhl. The local Mansi tribe considered this mountain cursed, calling it the Mountain of the Dead. Early in the journey, one member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and had to turn back. Little did he know that his sickness would actually be a blessing. He was the only one among the 10 to survive. The remaining 9 pressed on. Their diaries and photographs revealed that they were happy and cheerful. They set up camps in the snow, sang songs, and wrote in their diaries. But on February 1st, the weather suddenly worsened. A severe snowstorm caused them to lose their way and accidentally camp on the slope of Kholat Syakhl. Igor Dyatlov decided not to descend the mountain but to set up their tent on this dangerous slope. It would turn out to be their biggest and final mistake. In the middle of the night, something happened that pushed these skilled climbers into death's grasp. When they failed to return on time, their families raised the alarm. On February 26th, a rescue team arrived at the site of their tent. What they found turned the rescuers' blood cold. The tent was empty, but it had been cut open from the inside. All their belongings, shoes, and food were left inside the tent, but the hikers were gone. Chapter 2. The Footprints to Oblivion. Focus, the discovery, and the horror. Outside the tent, footprints in the snow were beyond human comprehension. Tracks of 8 to 9 people led down toward the forest. Strangely, the prints showed that some were barefoot, while others were only in socks. Imagine running barefoot in 30 degrees temperatures, where the human body can freeze within minutes, and these were 9 expert hikers. This could not have been caused by ordinary fear. They must have been fleeing something far more terrifying than death. About 1.5 kilometers down, beneath a large cedar tree, the first 2 bodies were found, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenko. Both were in only their underwear, and their hands were burned as if they had tried and failed to start a fire. Broken tree branches above them suggested they may have tried to climb to see something. A little further, Igor Dyatlov was found. His body faced the tent, as if he had been trying to return there in his final moments. Following him, the bodies of Zenaida Kolmogorova and Rustem Slobodin were discovered. Their cause of death was listed as hypothermia. But the real horror began 2 months later, when the snow melted and the remaining 4 hikers were found in a deep ravine. The condition of their bodies shocked investigators. Their deaths were not caused by cold alone. Nikolai Thibault Brignol had a severely fractured skull. Lyudmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov had ribs broken as if a 50-ton force had crushed them. Most horrifying, Lyudmila's tongue was missing. Her eyes were gone, and parts of her face were gone. Doctors stated that these injuries were beyond human capability. They resembled the internal trauma of a car accident. Yet there were no external wounds. Only the bones inside were shattered. Chapter 3. The Silent Killer, Infrasound and the Avalanche. Focus, scientific theories, and the pressure of nature. When forensic reports confirmed that the hikers' bones could not have been broken by human hands or any weapon, experts began to look at natural disasters as a possible cause. The first and simplest theory was the avalanche. It is said that during the night while they were sleeping, a large slab of snow above the tent fell. The pressure supposedly broke their ribs and skulls. According to this theory, in panic, they cut open the tent and ran outside to avoid being buried alive. But this theory had a major flaw. If their bones were broken by the avalanche, how did they manage to walk 1.5 kilometers down into the forest? And why did the rescue team find no trace of an avalanche near the tent? Here enters a much more intriguing scientific theory: infrasound. Due to the unique shape of mountains and strong winds, sometimes sound waves are created that the human ear cannot hear, but the brain can feel. This phenomenon is called the sound of terror. Infrasound can cause intense anxiety, hallucinations, and fear of death. It is said that on that night, the winds generated such a wave that drove the 9 hikers insane. They were so terrified that they perceived their own tent as an enemy and ran blindly into the freezing death outside. But what about the radiation? Investigators found traces of radioactivity on their clothing. Radiation in such a remote mountain region pushes this mystery beyond natural causes and hints at a secretive experiment or incident. Chapter 4: The Secret Weapons and the Glowing Orbs. Focus: military cover-up and paranormal theories. 1959 was the peak of the Cold War. The Soviet Union was constantly testing secret rockets and missiles. On the night of the incident, locals near Dyatlov Pass reported seeing strange glowing orbs in the sky. Could it be that the hikers accidentally camped in a place where the Soviet Union was testing secret weapons? Some suggest that a missile may have exploded, generating a massive shockwave that broke their bones and blinded them. The radiation traces on their clothing could have come from this same explosion. And then there's the state of their bodies. Lyudmila's tongue and eyes were missing. Some argue that wild animals did this, but why would animals only target her face? Some researchers believe this was the work of military scavengers, cleaning up evidence. Was there something at Dyatlov Pass that the world was not meant to see? For many years, the Dyatlov Pass files were kept top secret. When they were finally released, several pages were missing. The Soviet government closed the case, labeling it as caused by an unknown compelling force, a power beyond human control. Some locals even talk about Yeti or Menk, a massive creature guarding these mountains. But whether it was aliens, secret weapons, or infrasound, the truth remains. On that night, 9 young lives fell victim to a horror so intense that it forced them to leave their clothes and shoes behind. Chapter 5: The Final Verdict and the Eternal Silence. Focus: modern science, the 2020 reinvestigation, and emotional tribute. The mystery of Dyatlov Pass remained a wound the world could never heal for 60 years. But in 2020, Russia reopened the case. This time, they had computer modeling and technology that did not exist in 1959. 2 Swiss experts, Johann Gaum and Alexander Puzrin, proposed a theory now considered by many as the most plausible. They explained that when Igor Dyatlov and his companions cut into the mountain slope to pitch their tent, they unintentionally created a path for a slab avalanche. That night, a heavy and hard slab of snow fell onto their tent. The slab broke their ribs and skulls, exactly as it would happen in a car accident. Terrified, they ran out, but in the darkness and freezing cold, they could not make it back to the tent. One by one, they succumbed to death. But does science answer all the questions? Perhaps not. Traces of radiation, the glowing orbs in the sky, and the disappearance of Lyudmila's tongue. These mysteries still lie buried somewhere in the snow of these mountains. Science can provide logic, but no computer model can capture the fear these 9 young people experienced that final night. Kolat, the mountain of the dead, still stands silent. A stone monument has been built in memory of the 9 hikers, with their faces engraved upon it. These 9 young souls, once full of life, have become a haunting tale of mystery. Their story reminds us that nature still possesses powers beyond human comprehension. The Dyatlov Pass incident is not just a tale of death. It is a collision of human spirit and nature's merciless force, a story the world will never forget. Though the 9 may not have reached their destination, their mark on this world will never fade. As we close the file on Dyatlov Pass, one thing is certain: some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. Whether it was a secret weapon, a terrifying sound, or a silent slide of snow, the hikers of Kolat have found their eternal peace. If you found this deep dive fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more untold stories. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.